Hi, I'm Brian Arnoff from CapMac. Today we're making shallot macaroni and cheese. Here are all of our ingredients. We have butter, flour, shallots, 1 egg as a binder, cheddar cheese, Parmesan cheese, a little bit of smoked Gouda, some panko breadcrumb for the crust, some scalded milk, and some Dijon mustard as a seasoning. We're going to get started here by adding our butter to the pot. We're going to crank this up to about medium-high and let this butter melt for a couple of seconds. We're then going to add our shallots. Here we have a shallot. It's kind of like a cross between an onion and garlic. It's really easy and simple to cut up. You want to cut the ends off and give it a quick peel. And then for this dish today, we're just going to do a quick slice. And there you have our sliced shallots. While these shallots are cooking down a little bit, we're going to grate our cheese. We have here 2-year aged sharp cheddar cheese. To add to that, we also have a little bit of smoked Gouda. Gouda is a great cheese for mac and cheese because it melts down beautifully, and the smokiness really adds a little bit of something different to your mac and cheese. So we have all of our cheeses ready. The shallots have begun to cook down. We're going to give this a little stir. We're going to sprinkle in our flour into the pot. This is creating the roux for our mac and cheese. This is going to be what thickens our mac and cheese. We have to let that cook for about a minute to allow the flour to cook out. Okay, that looks pretty good. And next we're going to slowly add in our milk. It's good at this point to change to a whisk to avoid getting any lumps in your mac and cheese. We have about 3 cups of milk here. We're going to whisk this pretty aggressively to make sure that we remove any lumps. And allow this to come up to a simmer so that the roux can do its job and thicken our sauce. While that is taking place, we're going to add a little bit of seasoning. We have a little Dijon mustard. It adds a little tang and brightness to the dish, as well as some pepper, freshly ground, and some kosher salt. As you can see, the sauce has begun to thicken. This is a good point to taste your mac and cheese. It's always important to taste your food. It's got some good salt, some good pepper. I think looking pretty good. We're going to add our macaronis next. This is about a ½ pound of cooked elbow noodles. And we're going to stir that in. So now last but not least, we're going to add our cheeses. We're going to start with the Parmesan cheese. It takes the longest to melt. We're going to sprinkle that in and give it a stir. Whenever you're making mac and cheese, you always want to add all of your cheeses in stages. Otherwise, your sauce could possibly break. And finally, we're going to add our smoked Gouda and our cheddar cheese. You want to make sure you get it all in there. Stir it all together. And we're going to turn the heat off, allow this to continue to slowly melt. We're going to add 1 egg to this dish. This is a binder. It's really going to hold the whole dish together when you bake it in the oven. You want to crack your egg, beat it up a little bit, and then we're going to slowly add it to the mac and cheese so that the egg does not scramble. It's important that you've taken your mac and cheese off the heat. We've turned the burner off here, and we're going to pour in our egg. And we're going to stir that up really quickly because we don't want to scramble the egg. So there's the base of our mac and cheese. We're going to grab a pre-sprayed pan. Use any size you want. Sometimes we like to do big ones, sometimes we like to do small ones. And we're going to grab a spoon here. Spoon in our mac and cheese. And finally, we're going to take a little panko breadcrumb and sprinkle this over the top. This just adds a little texture to your mac and cheese. It's really great. It has a nice crunch. We're going to bake this in the oven at about 350 for probably about 25 minutes or until it's golden brown and delicious. It's been about 25 minutes, and we're going to pull out our mac and cheese. Here's the final product. As you can see, it's browned up beautifully and it's golden brown and delicious. And this is our shallot macaroni and cheese. I'm Brian Arnoff from CapMac DC. Thank you for watching.